Sancho's Man United exit is on, with PSG lurking. Mo Salah to Saudi Arabia for 100 million is back. Simeone versus Felix could send Joao to the Premier League. Plus, Laporte's sacrificing millions for Real Madrid. Will Al Nassr let him go? We're breaking it all down, right here, right now. Let's go! Barcelona are exploring alternatives to Nico Williams, with Bayern Munich winger Kingsley Coman emerging as a surprise target. The Catalan giants are keen to bolster their attacking options, but face significant financial constraints. After Williams pledged his allegiance to Athletic Club, rebuffing Barcelona's advances, the Blaugrana have been forced to consider other options. And according to Sky Sports, Bayern Munich are open to letting French winger Kingsley Coman depart the Allianz Arena this summer. Coman's representatives have reportedly offered him to Barcelona, sparking a potential reunion with manager Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick and Coman worked together during their highly successful spell at Bayern, and the Germany tactician is understood to be a big admirer of the pacey winger. However, Barcelona's well-documented financial woes pose a major obstacle to any potential deal. A loan move appears to be the most likely scenario, with Bayern open to such an arrangement. This would certainly appeal to Barcelona, who are unable to commit to a significant transfer fee. However, even a loan deal would require Barcelona to offload players and free up wages before it could be sanctioned. This further strengthens the belief that a move for Williams, which would command a hefty transfer fee, is highly improbable. While Coman's recent form and injury history raise some eyebrows, a loan deal could represent a calculated gamble for Barcelona, a low-risk, potentially high-reward opportunity to add much-needed firepower to their ranks. For now, Nico Williams remains Barcelona's primary target. But if that pursuit proves unsuccessful, expect Coman's name to feature prominently in the headlines as the transfer window enters its final stages. Marco Reus to LA Galaxy is a done deal. After weeks of speculation, the German maestro is set to embark on a new chapter in his illustrious career, swapping the yellow and black of Borussia Dortmund for the white and blue of the Galaxy. Reus, a free agent since his contract expired with Dortmund, has agreed to a deal that will keep him in Los Angeles until 2026. He's expected to fly to the US in the coming hours to undergo his medical and officially sign the contract. This marks a significant coup for the Galaxy, adding a player of Reus's caliber and experience to their ranks. Despite injuries hampering his career, the 35-year-old remains a top-quality player, capable of producing moments of magic. Dortmund fans will undoubtedly be sad to see their captain depart after 12 incredible years at the club. He leaves behind a legacy of goals, assists, and unforgettable moments, including 170 goals and 429 appearances. He'll forever be remembered as a Dortmund legend. But for Reus, this move represents a fresh start and a chance to shine in a new league. MLS is gaining a player who has won the DFB Pokal twice, reached the Champions League final, and lifted the World Cup with Germany in 2014. While Reus may be in the twilight of his career, he still has a lot to offer. His vision, passing range, and ability to score goals will be a huge asset for the Galaxy. He's proven his quality time and time again, even in a reduced role last season, where he still managed 9 goals and 10 assists in all competitions. This is a statement signing for MLS, demonstrating the league's growing appeal to top European players. It's also a fantastic opportunity for Reus to experience a new culture and leave his mark on American football. Keep an eye out for official confirmation from LA Galaxy in the next few days. And trust me, this is one transfer you won't want to miss. Liverpool's interest in Newcastle United winger Anthony Gordon is back on. Despite reports suggesting a deal was off the table, the Reds remain admirers of the talented 23-year-old and could make a late swoop before the transfer window slams shut. Liverpool were heavily linked with Gordon earlier this summer, with some reports even claiming a £75 million fee had been agreed. However, Newcastle's improved financial situation following player sales meant they were no longer under pressure to sell. But the situation remains fluid. While Newcastle are keen to keep Gordon, a significant offer from Liverpool could tempt them to reconsider. The Magpies are understood to value the England international at around £75 million. Gordon enjoyed a breakout season last term, scoring 12 goals and providing 10 assists in all competitions. His pace, directness, and eye for goal would make him a valuable addition to Arne Slot's squad. Liverpool are looking to bolster their attacking options, especially with Mohamed Salah's future uncertain amidst heavy interest from Saudi Arabia. Gordon could be seen as a long-term replacement for the Egyptian king. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has publicly stated his desire to keep Gordon, emphasizing his importance to the team. However, the lure of playing for a club like Liverpool, with its history and Champions League ambitions, could be difficult for the young winger to resist. This is a transfer saga that could go down to the wire. The final weeks of the window are always unpredictable, and this deal is no exception. Arsenal's transfer window is heating up as we enter the final week before the Premier League curtain raiser against Wolves at the Emirates. Mikel Arteta is looking to fine-tune his squad after their impressive, yet ultimately agonizing, title challenge last season. The Gunners know they need to bridge the narrow gap that separated them from champions Manchester City. Arsenal are pushing hard to secure the signature of Real Sociedad's midfield maestro Mikel Merino. Personal terms are already agreed with the Spanish international, and he's made it clear that North London is his preferred destination. The clubs are now locked in negotiations over the fee, expected to be in the region of €25 million. This one is definitely one to watch. Adding a player of Merino's caliber would significantly bolster Arsenal's midfield options and provide much-needed depth for their upcoming Champions League campaign. Meanwhile, intriguing reports from Turkey suggest a surprise bid for Fenerbahce's versatile fullback Ferdi Kadioglu. The Turkish international impressed many during his country's run to the Euro 2024 quarter-finals. And Arsenal are said to have tabled an offer, but face competition from Bundesliga giants Borussia Dortmund. Fenerbahce are holding out for a hefty £30 million fee. This raises questions about the future of Oleksandr Zinchenko, whose game time could be further limited with Merino's potential arrival and the continued presence of Thomas Partey. Arteta still sees Zinchenko as a key part of the squad, so Kadioglu's fit remains unclear. Could this be a clever ploy by Kadioglu's agent to spark a bidding war? And just when you thought things couldn't get any more exciting, rumours are circulating about a potential sensational swoop for Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies. The Bavarian giants are reportedly open to selling the Canadian superstar for a bargain €30 million to avoid losing him for free next year. This has put several top clubs on high alert, and Arsenal could be tempted to join the race. Davies would be a significant upgrade on Zinchenko, offering blistering pace and attacking prowess down the left flank. However, prizing him away from Munich will be a tough task, with Real Madrid also reportedly lurking. Arsenal fans will be eagerly awaiting further developments. Will Arteta manage to land his key targets before the window slams shut? Stay tuned, as this transfer window is far from over for Arsenal. The Joao Felix saga continues to twist and turn, with Benfica, Aston Villa and Barcelona all vying for his signature. The Portuguese magician is desperate for a fresh start after a turbulent spell under Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Benfica, the club where Felix first burst onto the scene, are eager to orchestrate a fairy tale return. However, the hefty €32 million price tag for just 50% of his rights represents a significant hurdle for the Portuguese giants. They remain hopeful that Atletico will lower their demands as the transfer deadline looms, with a potential sale of David Neres to Napoli potentially unlocking crucial funds. Across the continent, Unai Emery's Aston Villa are lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce. They've been in constant communication with Felix's representatives, and a move to the Premier League remains a distinct possibility, especially if they manage to offload John Duran. However, like Benfica, their current offer falls short of Atletico's valuation. Barcelona, where Felix spent last season on loan, are keeping a close eye on the situation, but a move for the Portuguese forward is not their immediate priority. They have other targets in mind and are content to wait and see how the situation unfolds. Atletico Madrid, for their part, are open to selling but are in no rush to do so. They would prefer a swift resolution to reinvest the funds, but with no concrete offers meeting their valuation, they are prepared to play the waiting game. Despite featuring in pre-season, Felix's future at Atletico looks increasingly uncertain. Diego Simeone's recent comments suggest that the relationship between player and manager remains strained. The clock is ticking. Benfica and Aston Villa are the frontrunners in this transfer race, but with Barcelona lurking and Atletico holding firm, the Joao Felix saga is far from over. Keep your eyes peeled for further updates, as this one could go down to the wire. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti has given the green light for the potential arrival of Aymeric Laporte to the Santiago Bernabeu this summer. Despite initial claims that the club would not sign another defender, Ancelotti's change of heart comes as a result of the team's depleted defensive options. With Nacho Fernandez and Rafa Marin departing and David Alaba's injury recovery progressing slower than expected, Ancelotti is left with just Antonio Rudiger and Eder Militao as his frontline defenders. The club's pursuit of Lenny Yoro was thwarted by Manchester United, and Jesus Vallejo's ongoing fitness issues have further compounded the problem. Laporte, currently plying his trade for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, has been internally discussed as a possible signing at Real Madrid. The Spanish international, fresh from winning the UEFA Euro 2024, is willing to make the jump back to Europe and join Los Blancos. However, a move will be difficult to pull off, as Real Madrid are unwilling to pay a transfer fee, and Laporte must secure a termination of his contract at Al Nassr. Laporte's agent has initiated talks with the Saudi giants about a possible mutual termination, which would see the player forego wages worth 48 million euros. However, Al Nassr are resistant to the idea, having invested 27 million euros to sign the centre-half. While Laporte is eager to join Real Madrid, he will not force his way out, and it remains to be seen if his agent and Al Nassr can find an amicable agreement. Meanwhile, Real Madrid's pursuit of Christian Romero has been met with a resounding no from Tottenham Hotspur, who have set a staggering price tag of 175 million euros for the Argentine defender. While Real Madrid may reconsider their interest in the future, a move for this season seems unlikely. In other news, the club has reaffirmed its commitment to keeping Rodrigo, despite speculation surrounding his future following the arrival of Kylian Mbappé. Los Blancos plan to utilize the Brazilian star as part of their forward trident alongside Vinicius Jr. and Mbappé, with Rodrigo expected to operate from the right flank. As the summer transfer window draws to a close, Real Madrid's defensive options remain a priority. Will they be able to secure the signing of Aymeric Laporte, or will they turn their attention to other centre-back options? Only time will tell. Jadon Sancho's future at Manchester United is hanging in the balance. Despite being reintegrated into the squad after last season's issues with Erik ten Hag, sources tell me United are open to selling the English winger. PSG are showing strong interest and talks are progressing. A deal this month is increasingly likely, though United are resigned to taking a significant loss on the £70 million they paid Borussia Dortmund. The Red Devils are looking to recoup as much as possible, but the reality is they won't get anywhere near that initial fee. They might be hoping for a figure closer to £50 million, but even that could be a stretch. While Sancho has featured in pre-season, including a potential start in the Community Shield due to injuries within the squad, Old Trafford insiders suggest this is more down to necessity than a long-term plan for him. His impressive performances during his loan spell back at Dortmund last season haven't convinced Ten Hag that he has a future at the club. United are keen to recoup funds and strengthen in attack, with a new striker high on Ten Hag's wish list, especially with Rasmus Højlund sidelined. Dortmund and Juventus have also been linked with a move for Sancho, potentially a loan deal, but PSG appear to be leading the race for a permanent transfer. The Parisian club are said to have already made contact, and personal terms are not expected to be an issue. However, agreeing a fee with United could be the sticking point. The two clubs will need to find common ground if a deal is to be struck. PSG's initial offer is believed to be considerably lower than United's valuation. Sancho himself is reportedly keen on the move to League One. He wants regular game time and a fresh start after a difficult spell in Manchester. A move to PSG would offer him the chance to compete for trophies and play Champions League. Meanwhile, United are facing a crucial decision. Do they hold on to Sancho and hope he can rediscover his Dortmund form, or cash in now and reinvest the funds elsewhere? The coming days will be crucial in determining the future of the talented but inconsistent winger. There's also the question of Antony. His future is also uncertain, and a big offer could see him leave too. It's a saga that has rumbled on for some time, and one that all parties involved will be hoping reaches a conclusion soon. As we understand, Saudi Arabian clubs are preparing a formal bid for Liverpool superstar Mohamed Salah. The offer could be in the region of £100 million, a figure that might be incredibly difficult for Liverpool to refuse, especially considering the player's current contractual situation and age. Liverpool have always publicly maintained their desire to keep Salah at Anfield, but the Egyptian king is now entering the final year of his contract, putting the Reds in a precarious and potentially costly position. This has inevitably fueled intense speculation about his future all summer, with Saudi Pro League clubs circling like sharks for months now. The latest information coming out of the Middle East suggests a truly life-changing contract offer might be on the table for Salah, an offer that might not be available next summer when he could leave for free. This unprecedented financial package could be the decisive factor in the player's final decision. Salah's impact at Liverpool has been nothing short of phenomenal since his arrival in 2017. He has consistently delivered an astonishing number of goals and assists, becoming a true Anfield legend. Replacing him would be a monumental task for Jurgen Klopp's successor and would undoubtedly significantly weaken Liverpool's attacking prowess. It's important to remember that Liverpool rejected a verbal offer of £150 million for Salah last summer. However, the landscape has shifted significantly since then. Salah is now a year older and closer to becoming a free agent. This adds enormous pressure on Liverpool, who must now carefully weigh up the substantial financial gain against the undeniable on-field impact of losing their talismanic forward. Adding further fuel to the fire, sources suggest the Saudis are aware that the staggering personal terms being offered now might not be on the table in future transfer windows. This is a clear tactic to lure Salah away this summer. This is a complex, multifaceted, and rapidly developing story, one we will be following very closely here. Could we see Mo Salah playing in Saudi Arabia next season? The next few days will be absolutely crucial in determining the future of one of the Premier League's biggest stars.